I want you to think back to the last time when you were worried about something. You know, maybe you had an assignment coming up that you are not able to submit, or you were supposed to pay for something and you couldn't pay, or you were supposed to see somebody and you were running late, something like that. Just imagine that type of scenario that happened maybe 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. And now think about it today. Does it really matter? I've never really seen anything that when I think back to it today is really worth worrying about. Sometimes I read my past journals and everything. When I just see the things that I was like overthinking, then I'm just like worried and stressed about, like I'm just like, for real? My entire life, I can only think of maybe one thing that was kind of important, that was kind of, you know, we should have been worrying, like we should have worried about that thing. Other than that, like nothing else. I remember back in 2020 when I was preparing to write exams to enter university and all that. It was around beginning of 2020, before the lockdown, before COVID spread around the world. That time nobody really knew what COVID was. Here in Nigeria, once you start reaching that WAEC SS3 that you're supposed to write WAEC and all these exams to university, you know, you can go to like a lecture center, so they will like teach you more about JAM, how to pass JAM and all that. In that lecture center, there was this particular girl that I had a crush on. So this guy used to sit like far at the front and I used to be at the back. And I would just like stare at her all day and just admire her and just, you know, go home and be dreaming and daydreaming and all those type of stuff. My mind was like, you know, we need to talk to this girl, we need to talk to this girl. And the thing was that I haven't kind of started that lecture late because the JAMB exam was by March. I think the lecture had started like since the previous year. So I started like the ending of January and the exam was March. So, you know, day by day passes, week by week passes, and I'm like, I need to talk to this girl, you know, I'll talk to her tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll talk to her, like, then tomorrow will come and, you know, she's talking to too many people, so maybe when she's by herself, and she'll be by herself, then, you know, I didn't dress well today, so maybe tomorrow I'll talk to her, tomorrow. And the next day, the same thing again, she's talking with somebody or she's doing this, so maybe tomorrow, you know. Just keep procrastinating like that. Because eventually it was like the last day of the lecture before the exam. I was like, you know, I really need to talk to this girl, like today, right here, right now. Oh, she's talking with people again. What will I do now? Okay, let me just wait around. Okay. So me to just go and talk to her, you know, overthinking, stressing, what if I say the wrong thing? What if she doesn't like me? What if I do this? What if I do that? Eventually we ended that like session or whatever. And I didn't talk to this girl. The way Nigeria's own education system works, like before you enter university, you write like 3 different exams. Post-UM is like the final exam, and that's like the one of the other ones you really need to go to lecture for. So I was like, you know, when everybody comes back to write post-UM, you know, like she will definitely be in the lecture again. So I'll talk to her then. This was like March now, and that was when COVID now hit. Then when I eventually came back for post-UM lecture around October, that was about 7 to 8 months later when I actually came back for post-UM lecture around October. That was when the world started opening up a little bit. And guess what? This girl was no longer there. I never saw her again. Till today, I never saw that girl again. So the point I'm trying to make with this story is, the main reason why I didn't talk to her was, you know, I was overthinking, I was stressed, I was like, I didn't want to come off as weird. Especially, I have very bad social skills. You know, I'm an introvert. I don't like. I need to work on my social skills. I need friends. I was just like, what if I mess this up? What if she doesn't like me? What if I talk in this type of way? What if I look awkward? What if I'm weird? So actually, just punching fear in the face and just, you know, whatever happens, let this happen. I kept overthinking that, stressing about that. And now that I'm thinking back to it, let's assume I actually talked to her and she, you know, said I'm weird or I'm awkward or she didn't respond or whatever. Like, will it really matter today? The answer is no, probably not. Funny thing is, if I see that very girl again on the streets just walking by, I might not even recognize her, honestly. Like, now that I'm thinking, I'm trying to remember what she even, like, her picture is not even very clear in my head again. The point I'm trying to make is that what you're stressing about today, just think about it like next month. What you're worried about, what looks like is going to be the end of the world and all that. By this time next month, it's probably not going to be that relevant to you. And if you want to even make it crazier, look at it by this time next year, or next 2 years, or next 3 years. Like I said, this story happened 3 years ago. So like, will it be relevant today? Even if I did something as, I'm trying to think of something extremely stupid. Maybe I just like slap her ass and just, you know, run away or something like that. So I'm not saying you should go do that, but will it really matter today? Like, it won't really matter. And if you want to even look at it in the giant scheme of life, like, we all know the cliche, everybody is going to die one day. So like, almost whatever you do in this life, it doesn't really matter. If I don't submit this project, if I don't pass this exam or this or that, that's, you know, everything is going to fall apart. Look at that situation just about a week from today, a month from today, a year from today, and you just be like, so this is what I was really worried about, like, this is what I was stressing about, this is what I was killing myself over. 99.9999% of things we stress about, it doesn't really matter, except the thing you're doing is maybe going to get a girl pregnant, going to get you killed, going to get you terminally sick, or going to send you to prison. Any of those 4 things, okay, those ones really matter, avoid them as much as possible. But any other thing other than those 4, like, it doesn't really matter. So whatever you want to do it right now. Whatever you're stressing about, like, whatever you're overthinking, oh, should I start this business, or should I start this one, or should I choose this course, or should I read this, or should I just do anyone. It doesn't really matter. That's why I keep saying people should journal. You know, that's the beauty of journaling. Journaling is always, it's beautiful when you can read all these things back and just be like, for real. Just as long as it doesn't get you to prison, it doesn't get somebody pregnant, it doesn't get you crazily sick, or it doesn't get you killed. As long as it's none of those 4 things, like, don't stress yourself so much. It doesn't really matter.